my name is Katrina, as I said on the phone the other day, and I'm a social worker here at the community centre. And just for your information, here at the centre as social workers, we do a range of things. We can offer legal aid, advocacy, counselling. So people come to us for a whole range of reasons. Everyone's different. And before we start, I just needed to explain to you a bit about confidentiality for the session here today. So everything that you say here today is confidential, but there are a few reasons that we may have to breach confidentiality. So one may be if I believe that you're going to be of harm to yourself or others, I'm mandated to report that. And another may be in the unlikely event that a court needs to subpoena some evidence, they may take the record from what is said here today. That's an unlikely event though. And then thirdly, here at the centre as social workers, I have a supervisor that keeps me accountable to my practice and to the work that I do. And if I need advice or guidance, I might speak to my supervisor about the best way to support my clients. So that may be another breach of confidentiality. Does that make sense to you, Asaki, or do you have any questions?
No question really, just that this is a very new experience for me, talking to a social worker.
Yeah.
Now you're telling me about confidentiality. Am I going to get into trouble? Diverging any information? Like, what exactly does that mean for me?
So I just have to tell you that straight up so that you know that if you were going to be of harm to yourself or others, I have to report that to the relevant authorities. Does that seem reasonable to you?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It
Yeah.
is, yeah.
So
Okay.
whatever. Yeah, I understand you may be feeling a bit nervous as this is a new experience.
Yeah.
And whatever you want to bring to the session today, it's up to you. You don't have to talk about anything that you're not comfortable with. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, the social worker referred me to come here.
Yes.
Yeah, so I believe it's important for me. That's why I've been asked to come here. So yeah, I just hope you guide me also through the process.
Okay, yeah, because I understand that Krista's school welfare advisor referred you to the centre today.
Yeah.
What do you think has brought you here today?
The concern really for me was the observation made by the social worker or the welfare worker in the school that she's keeping so much to herself, and that seemed to be a big source of concern for them, and again for me as well. If something is wrong with my daughter, I'm happy to do what can be helpful, to help her.
Yeah. So from your understanding, has Krista's behaviour changed? Has she always been quite reserved, or did this start at a particular point in time?
I won't see it as her behavior has changed. The thinking through what might have happened to her or what might be going on is our circumstance as a family has changed. I think in terms of movement from where we used to live to now public housing, which I think she might not be so happy about because of comfort and all of that. Yeah, but I can't imagine if that has affected her so much, because I think she's a strong person.
When did the move happen for you, Asaki?
Not too long ago, consequent upon my husband losing his business and due to some factors, something's going on. But the bottom line is we had to move to public housing because we couldn't afford and challenges. You know how it is, business and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that might be. I mean, after then, that was when the social welfare worker started talking about my daughter's changing behavior and all that.
Yeah, that's a huge change to go from one place to the other, and to have the loss of business as well with your husband. Can I ask where that's at with your husband and the business, and what's going on there?
You know, business, everything is money. I think he's lost so much of money doing his business. I don't know if gambling is a crime in Australia, but I think he's a little bit into gambling, and that has affected his business. But I must tell you, he obeys the law. He doesn't do anything against the law. So that has left us without capital to maintain the business. So we have to cut down on our expenses.
Yes, yes. And can I ask, what do you think about your husband's gambling? Just to clarify, it's not a crime in Australia, but what do you think about your husband's gambling?
Yeah, I think it makes him happy. He has a good pastime, gambling, something he likes doing. I mean, that's better than doing something else, like committing a crime. But on the downside, I think he's addicted to that, and he's lost so much of money. Yeah, so that is the concern I have. I mean, it's obvious where we're living now.
Yeah.
The consequence of the gambling. Yeah, so that's what I'm concerned about.
Yeah, what have some of the consequences been? Can I ask, Asaki, if you wouldn't mind sharing?
The consequence, well, you can talk to her if she'll be willing to talk to you, but like you observed, I see she tried to confront her dad with this whole thing, and the dad promised she would turn a new page, and that didn't seem to happen. So I think she might have given up on the situation being that there will be a change. So maybe she's given up on that. So maybe she will be happy to talk to you, but now I don't think she feels I can make any difference anymore, so she hardly talks to me about it.
Okay, so she used to speak to you about things, and now she doesn't so much?
I won't say that. She's my daughter, we're pretty close. She helps me to do a lot of things. She's a nice girl. But when it comes to dad and gambling and all that, I think that's an area she doesn't think I have anything to contribute, because I've assured her things will be okay, and sadly things keep getting worse.
Okay, yeah. So just going back to the gambling, if I could ask, so your husband's gambling, what was your husband's name, sorry? With James gambling, what's changed? Because that's quite a big thing, like a time-consuming thing, and his energy is going towards the gambling. How's your home operating? If that makes sense, that question.
Yeah, if I understood that, we used to live in the neighborhood filled with people from, people we know, the same cultural background and all that. So we're very revered because of the business we keep. We provide what they need. If people need help, we used to be in a position to help them. Now the gambling has stolen that from us, because now we're not even able to take care of ourselves, not to take care of people. And my fear now is soon, the way things are going, we might have to change at least my daughter's school. So the cash is not flowing.
Yes.
So that's the challenge we have. Yeah, in terms of food, we are eating well. We thank God for the public housing, even though it's not we're not proud of it.
Yeah.
So that's the challenge we are facing. The cash is not flowing.
Yeah, that's quite a challenge financially, but also, as you were saying before, for dignity, going from the people that are the support for other people, and now in this point in time, you're actually needing a lot of support yourself.
Yeah.
It also sounds like you're carrying a lot of the family. If James is gambling,
Yeah.
you're carrying a lot of the family responsibility.